So you've been asked by your teacher to find out something specific. Again, sticking with the Aztecs, we'll look at Aztec War. Of course, at this stage you know that the search engine, the search string that you should be using, should start off with Aztec War and kids. And you also see when you type that in, Google will come up with alternative search strings for you. But we'll stick with our simple search string. So click on Search. You could, of course, go to the image search and search for images, but for this example we're going to look at the All section. So let's look at the All section. Normally when you're using a Google search engine, you should restrict yourself to the first page. At the very most you should go to number 2. By the time you're looking at 3, 4, 5 and 6, these are probably going to be lower quality searches, so stick with the first 2 pages. So I want to find out something about Aztec wars and warriors. So I'll scroll down and I'll start looking at the descriptions here. This one looks interesting, so I'll click on Aztec warriors and Aztec history. So straight away we can see that this website is probably going to be a little bit more complex. You can see that by the length of the sentences, the length of the paragraphs, but it still might be okay. Because you're a very busy person, you might not have time to read through everything. So before you decide if this website is worth reading, have a little scroll around. You will see this website is quite cool because it has pictures and it's divided into sections. So you can see that even though initially we could see this website was quite complicated, because it's divided into sections, it might make it a bit easier for you to understand. But stop. Don't start reading the whole thing through. Have a look. You can see here that they have got specific links. So when I scan through, I can find out about the Aztec Flower War. So that sounds interesting. What on earth could a flower war be? So I'll start looking at Flower Wall by clicking on the link in this website. I'll find out what the flower wall is. Now at this stage I might start thinking, well, I'm not sure if the flower wall is actually true. So we'll go back to Google and this time in Google we will type in Aztec kids flower wall. Because what I want to do is I want to find at least 2 other websites that are completely independent that also talk about the flower wall. That way I can be more certain that the flower wall is actually a real thing and the details the initial website is giving me are correct. Unless you do this, you really cannot be sure if what it says on the internet is true or it's completely fake. So again, like we said before, our search string now becomes Aztec kids flower wall, and I'll be looking to find 2 further easy to understand websites to support what I'm saying. Again, when we start looking into this detail, we could build up our search string. So when you start looking into the detail, you might build up your search string with Aztec kids flower wall, and perhaps the name of the Aztec god that was associated with it, or the temples where this happened, or the specific location where this happened. These are all details that you might be able to get from the websites, so use these details to build up your search string. As you're searching, always remember to have a look at the images as well. So what we've looked at is something called triangulation. Triangulation means 3. It's really important that you don't automatically accept everything that you see on the internet. By triangulating, we can make sure that the information we're using is more accurate and correct.